Good. So I'm just pressing record now so we can get started. And
Sweet.
welcome everybody for jumping in. Really excited to have everybody here. And so usually during the training, I love when people have questions. We're going to save them for the very end. I think everyone's muted, but okay.
I heard a baby and then I heard it go muted. So maybe that person muted themselves just now.
Okay, yeah, so if everybody can mute themselves because we are recording. So for those of you who know me, hello, good morning, happy Tuesday. It's like new Monday here in Canada. I don't know if in the States there was a holiday, but Tuesday just feels like Monday 2.0 after a long weekend. It just means it's a Tuesday with just as much with your work that you need to get done Monday plus Tuesday. That's all it is. So a little bit about myself for those of you who are just meeting me for the first time. My name is Tammy Boucher. I'm from Edmonton, Alberta. Yaha, go Oilers! Right, Colin? If you don't like Oilers, too bad. It's Oilers all.
Go Oilers!
That's okay. I love all hockey, so I'm all right. I'm not that nasty when it comes to hockey. Unless it's the cup, then I get nasty. So I'm from Edmonton, Alberta, right here in good old Canada, and our team hosts 3 masterminds a week. This is our first week. We're doing it ×3, and I wanted to invite my good friend, business partner Angela Carbone here with us. She is so kick-ass. I mean, this girl wakes up earlier than the crows, swear to God, or the roosters, whatever you want to call them. I don't know because I'm never up that early. I don't know what creatures are outside making noises. I gave up early mornings 3 years ago when I got out of the corporate world, and I wake up when I want. I don't even have an alarm. When my eyeballs open, that's when I awake now. So Angela, she's the early riser. She lives a life of a very strict routine. She practices her gratitudes every single day. I was going to say the 4 agreements, but I know you do that too. And you know what? This woman is not only a hustler. I find she's a heart-focused hustler because she's always hustling to find people that she can help serve. And that she can bless their lives. And in the last few years, she's actually worked on a system. And I think in the beginning, was it the 4 M's? And then you got it up to 6?
At first, it started as the 3,
right?
Actually.
Yeah.
And then it became, a couple years after that, it became 4. And then a couple years after that, it became 6.
Yep. So
in 2 years, I might be adding more.
I believe it. And this is a practice that Angela has been applying for years. I've had her speak with many of my other groups and masterminds about it too. So I love that she keeps expanding it. And I felt like, you know what, our groups have grown so much, and I really wanted everyone to be able to dive into Angela's brain and what tools she uses to create success in her business. I want to brag a little bit here because I love bragging moments. We love sharing milestones. Angela, can you tell everybody how many voice notes you have sent out while following the ATM system to attract people to our offer here?
Over 3,000. 300,000. Sorry about that. 3,000. I've sent over 3,000 now in what, 5-6 weeks.
Yep. Over 3,000 people. This is a woman who doesn't make excuses. Her Facebook is exactly that. It's her business. It's her book of business, period, right? We have thousands of people that we're social friends with on social media, yet we don't reach out to them, right? So if one woman gets it done, it's definitely Angela. If there's, concerns like, why isn't this happening for you? We cover a lot of mindset on other masterminds as well, which we're going to cover on Friday for sure. And then again on Sunday, but she's a no excuses kind of woman. She does not care for the opinions of others. And if other people are happy where they are, she's grateful for that. If they're not happy and don't want to make a change, she's grateful that she is and she's capable of, and she simply gives them blessings and wishes them well on whatever path they take. So by always approaching life with a gratitude in your heart versus trying to convince people, you show up with a very different vibration, right? So the people who are meant to be here with you right now will be. And some of those people who say no or not yet, or will be the ones that come to us later. Until then, we always remain heart-centered. We remain true to who we are as people, and we respect where everyone else is at on their journey. They'll eventually come to you if they're meant to. So without further ado, Ange, I just want to dive into this. If you can tell us a little bit about yourself, for a lot of people who may not know you here yet, what prompted you to create the 6Ms? And then if you want to dive in and share your screen, and we're good to go.
Yes, absolutely. So I've been online now for 9 years, and I got started in 2011. And the reason why I did is because I used to be an emergency medical responder on the oil and gas drilling rigs here in Northern Alberta and BC. And November 26th of 2011, I was driving to my rig when I got hit from the front by 2 semis and a Ford truck at highway speed. So I broke my right arm, the bone came out of the skin, I shattered my right leg, massive head injury, back injury, nerve damage, you name it. And it took me 5 surgeries on my leg, 1 on my arm, and 5 years of physio to get through it. But that accident was the greatest thing that could have ever happened to me in my life, because it completely changed my perspective on how I wasn't living the life that I wanted. I was making good money as an EMR, on the rig, but I was sitting 3 weeks a month on the rig, 1 week off. So kind of difficult to have a relationship, and other things like that when you're sitting on a rig for 3 weeks of the month. So the second thing is because this accident happened while I was working, it falls under the WCB legislation. And I knew I didn't want to fight with WCB for the rest of my life, because that's just so fucking fun. So it was a couple of months after my accident. My arm was in a sling, my hand was in a sling, my right leg was in a big brace, and I had my laptop on my lap. And I was like, I have to find a way to make money, because I likely can't go back to my old job. And WCB is going to kick me off their books faster than I might want them to do. And so I Googled online business, and I started the first one that came up, and it was called Empower Network back in the day. In 2014 was my first 6-figure year. And then I've just kind of been rock and rolling from there. And I've had the great opportunity to help a lot of people in the last 9 years to achieve financial success for themselves, change their lives for themselves and their families. And I just love this. I love that we do this. I love being a member of a community like this. I love being a leader of a community like this. I love public speaking. I love all those kinds of things. And I really very much love personal development, and I love sales. I truly believe sales is one of the only places where you can actually create your own income. You decide how much you make, not your boss, So for me, that's a snippet of my history. And so what I want to do now is, so the 6 M's of success, as Tammy mentioned, they actually first started out, I was at an event in Thailand, and I was told I hadn't made a video yet ever for my business. And I was told I had to make a video. So I thought to myself, what do I want to make a video of? And what information can I give out that is valuable in that video? So that's where the first 3 M's began back in Thailand. And that was in 2013. Without further ado, I'm just going to share my screen, and we're going to dive into this. I'm trying to respect everybody's time. So this will normally take me about an hour to go through, but I'm going to try to hustle it through. I do have a massive headache right now, but I really, really wanted to teach this because I love teaching it. As Tammy said, I've taught it to a lot of groups, and I just love teaching it because of the impact it leaves on the people who learn it, So that's what I love about this. So I'm going to share my screen here, if it's going to let me. All righty, here we go. Let's do this. The 6 M's of success. All right, let's rock and roll here. I need to move this screen a little bit, and off we go. First one, mindset. Crucial, crucial, crucial. Okay. There is this incredible poem, and it's called You Can. It's this poem right here. You can go to Google and download this, and I recommend that you do. You just search You Can poem, and you're going to be able to find it and download it. Then you print it off and you put it on your mirror in your bedroom or your bathroom or somewhere that you're going to see it every day. Okay. So as you can read, if you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you dare. If you'd like to win, but you think you can't, it's almost a cinch you won't. If you think you'll lose, you're lost. For out in the world we find, success begins with a fellow's will. It's all in the state of mind. If you think you're outclassed, you are. You've got to think high to rise. You've got to be sure of yourself before you can ever win a prize. Life's battles don't always go to the stronger or faster man, but sooner or later, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. There's mindset summed up right there in a poem.
I
Okay.
love that.
That poem is phenomenal. Once I found that poem, and I honestly can't remember how I did, but when I did, I was like, this is it. This is exactly what I'm trying to teach. This is exactly what I want to learn. This is exactly how I want to run my life, you know? So it's an incredibly powerful poem. And when I say print it off and put it on your mirror, I mean it. Do that for yourself. It will amaze you how much you change very quickly. So what we have to remember about the brain is our brain is pessimistic by nature, okay? Our brain was always trying to be a problem solver. So even if we go back to the caveman brain, and the thing is, we have as human beings evolved in a lot of ways, you know, in our food, shelter, and clothing, in our technology and things of that nature. But the caveman brain is still existing in our head, okay? So, and the reason why the caveman brain is always problem solving is because they were always desperate to find food, shelter, and clothing that would, you know, that would help them with the, you know, being extreme hot or extreme cold and keeping them safe in the elements, you know? So this is where the caveman brain begins, okay? So they were always, the caveman brain was just a problem solver, always wanting, but so then because it was a problem solver, even when the problems were solved, it looked for more problems to solve. It was constantly looking for a problem, okay? So the good news is, though, that we can change this brain with a few things, okay? So the first thing is that we need to recognize that our brain is pessimistic and be prepared to take some changes to achieve a positive mindset, okay? First one, as Tammy mentioned, gratitude, okay? This one is crucial. If you do not have this, you do not have any of it. This is where you start, okay? So, hang on, sorry, my pieces of paper are mixed up here. Got to get myself organized. So, gratitude. If you have read The Secret, The Power, The Magic, some other books about the law of attraction, then you know what this is about, okay? For those of you who have not read The Secret and The Magic, I recommend that you download them. There's free PDFs of them online. You need to read those two books, okay? They are crucial to going forward in your life with gratitude. Now, this is something that I recommend you put into a morning routine or an evening routine. So I have a morning routine and I have an evening routine that I stick to, okay? And gratitude is one part of it. So first thing in the morning, I pull up my journal, I write what I'm grateful for, and then what I do at the end of the day is I have another smaller journal where I write the top 5 things that I was grateful for that happened to me that day. So I'm starting my day with gratitude and I'm ending my day with gratitude. So we're bookending your day with this, okay? If you do one single thing, if you make one single change, this needs to be the change, okay? Please, please, please. I'm begging you, okay? So like I said, yes, you need to be doing this every day, okay? The other thing you're gonna wanna do is as your day progresses, okay, you're gonna wanna try to catch your thoughts in a sense, okay? Now, the way you can do this is you can notice it. So if you're feeling annoyed or frustrated or pissed off, you know what I mean? Then you've got a negative thought going through your head, right? You're feeling negative, right? So in order to change that, try to grab that thought and go, wait a minute, how can I make this positive? How can I change my frustration or my annoyance into something that's more positive, right? And as you learn these skills that I'm teaching you here, that I'm going to teach you here, you might actually be able to notice these negative thoughts and these negative emotions a little bit faster, and you'll be able to catch the thought faster and change it faster. The other thing is sometimes people tell me, well, I don't know what I have to be grateful for. And when I hear that, I almost want to smack the person who says that, because there is a million and one things that you can be grateful for. Okay. You know what some of the first things I write down in my gratitude journal every morning is, I'm grateful that I had a good night's sleep last night, and I'm grateful that I woke up alive. Because you know what? You know how many people die in their sleep? They didn't wake up alive. I did. Okay. I am grateful that I have a roof over my head. Now, there's 100 million people out there who are homeless. They would die to have a roof over their head. I write that I'm grateful that I have food to eat. 100 million people starving, don't have any food. Okay. I'm grateful that I have clothes to wear. 100 million people don't have clothes to wear to shield them from the elements. Some kids don't even have a proper winter jacket, things like that. Okay. There are a million things out there that you can be grateful for. All right. You can be grateful for your job. There's 100 million people unemployed, right? You just have to change the picture for yourself. Okay. Basically, there are 100 million people out there wishing they had your problems, wishing they had a problem of, oh, well, you know, I don't have enough for takeout tonight. I guess I'm going to have to make myself dinner. Something as simple as that, you know, they wish they had a roof overhead. They wish they had food to eat. They wish they had clothes to wear. They wish they had a job to go to, all of those things. So there is way too many things for you to be grateful for. Okay. And if you can't think of big things right now, then like I said, think of those little things that you have every day. And maybe you think you don't have to be grateful for them because you've had them your whole life, you know, but not everybody gets them their whole life, you know. So be aware that gratitude, there's a million things you could be grateful for. You could be grateful for this business opportunity you're in right now and how it's changing your life and how you're helping to change other people's lives. You know, that's a huge thing you can be grateful for, because somebody showed you this and it came into your life at just the right time for you to take action. That's incredible. That's something to be grateful for. Okay. Another thing you can be grateful for is just how convenient your life is. You know, in Africa, let's say, people can't just run to the corner store and pick up a quart of milk. You know what I mean? They might not even have fresh water to drink, things like that, you know? So you have a whole life of convenience. You can go to a supermarket that's full of food that they flew in fresh 2 days ago that you get to buy and you get to eat. You get to go to the corner store like I do and pick up a pack of smokes, you know, whatever, right? You get the garbage man comes, picks up your garbage once a week. You got the guys in the winter who snowplow the roads so that you're less chance of an accident. This is all living in convenience, but we take advantage of it. We don't be grateful for it because it's what we're used to. It's what we're always used to having, right? So those things, okay, I mean, think about it. And I've done this, like I work 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, last 2 weeks, and I had to order some stuff from Amazon. It gets here the next day. Literally the next day. I have no idea how Amazon does it so fast, but they do. That's convenience, right? Be grateful for that. Those are things you want to be grateful for. Second one, visualizations, okay? This is a fun one, right? Because you can have some fun with this one, okay? So basically, what do you want in your life? Is it a car? Is it a house? Is it money? What is it, okay? You got to be clear on what you want, and then you can start to visualize it, okay? So what I say to people, you know what, if there's a house you want to buy, go take a tour of it. Have a look at the rooms, have a look at the kitchen, have a look at the floor plan. Picture yourself living there, right? If there's a car you want, go test drive it. See how good you feel sitting behind the wheel, you know? See how the car smells, when it smells like new car smell, you know what I mean? So in visualizing things, your brain doesn't know that it's not real or it's just a dream or a fantasy, right? If you go test drive a car, your brain doesn't know that it's not yours. Only you know that, right? So the brain can actually see these things and go, oh, well, he must have that or she must have that. Let's be grateful that we have that kind of thing. And it makes your brain positive again as well, all right? So then, of course, now I have a vision board, and if anybody's read The Secret and the Magic, then you may also have a vision board too. These are so much fun. And that's why I'm saying visualizations are so much fun, because you can take a picture and put it up on a wall and make a collage of it, or make it really special, however you want to do it. And you can see every day the things that you want to bring into your life. Okay. Now, one of the things about visualizations, and then this is a story for me. Some of you know it, but when I grew up, I'm sorry, somebody, I'm not muted. I'm hearing something.
Sorry, that's probably me.
Oh, sorry, Mike. Okay. So this is a story that happened to me, a personal story that happened to me. So I grew up in a 1969 Camaro. My dad had it before I was even born. He bought it new, actually, in 1969. And when I was 17 years old, he had to sell it. And it broke his heart to sell it, okay? He had to do it because of some reasons, and I don't need to get into all that. But it really broke his heart to sell it. Now, me and my dad are incredibly close. And when I started making some money, one of the main things I wanted to do is I wanted to get his car back for him. And I actually made it on my vision board that I am not truly a success until I get his car back. Okay. So about 3 years ago now, 3 years ago now, I always cleaned my dad's house for him, right? So I come over, you know, once a week and kind of clean everything up. And then this one time I just got fixated on the car, and I was like, I got to find something for the car. I got to find something that will show me the registration of the car or something, right? So I kind of went snooping a little bit while I was cleaning, and I came across an old registration form for the car, and it actually was like almost ripped. There was a big part of it ripped off, but the VIN number was there, right? So I used to be a correctional officer for 7 years. So I knew some shady Edmonton City police. They might all be shady. Don't quote me on that. I kind of think they are, but anyway, moving on. So I call up this cop that I know, and I'm like, I gotta track down this car. Can you run the VIN for me? So he runs the VIN, and he actually finds the owner of it. So then he gives me the information. Then I Googled the owner on Facebook or on Google, and found out that he lives in Fort Saskatchewan, which is about 30 kilometers away from here. So that car was 30 kilometers away from me the whole time. That car should have been sold, could have been sold at the Barrett Jackson auction, and I would never have seen it again. Never have seen it again. Okay. This was the biggest act of the law of attraction working for me in my life. Okay. So of course I drive out, I go see the car. I'm literally I was a big girl. I wanted to cry. Honestly, when I saw it, I wanted to cry. I had my big girl panties on. I didn't cry. Cried later. But I visualized that into my life, right? Now, I haven't bought the car for my dad yet because this guy wants a really stupid amount of money. But besides that, you know, this is what the power of a visualization. This is why I'm saying to you, make that vision board, have those visualizations of what you want to bring into your life, and believe you can have it. Believe that when you visualize it, it's coming to you. Okay. It's on its way already. All right. Okay. There we go. Meditations. This one is a fun one too. Now, the thing about meditations, guys, is people really need to learn how to slow down. Okay. We are all go, no quit all day. The newest word of the 90s and 2000s was multitasking, which meant, you know, you wouldn't get a job or get hired if you couldn't do 86 things at once. When multitasking is really just bad implementation of your time. Because if you're trying to do 16 things right, then you're going to make all 16 wrong because you're not focusing on at least one thing, right? But multitasking is a different scenario there. We can talk about that later. But meditation. So since we're always going and going, our mind, our body, our spirit, our soul needs this. It needs to slow. It needs to calm, okay? And you can even meditate on making certain decisions, you know, like, over the years, I've meditated on things, and things that were happening to me or going on in my life. And I would meditate on it to learn how I wanted to deal with the situation. You know, like if I needed to forgive somebody for something, I would meditate on it and then go, you know what, it's better that I forgive because it's just weighing me down. whatever. Okay. But meditations can really clear your mind of all these extras if you know how to do it right and if you allow it to. So there are thousands of different meditations on YouTube. I have a couple of favorites. I have one that I use that's 16 minutes in the morning. Love it. Gets you ready for your day. Then I actually listen to an 8-hour one while I sleep. So put in my headphones. I get ready to fall asleep. There's a guided meditation at the beginning of it. And then while I sleep, there's all this meditation. There's all this info going into my brain while I sleep and going into my mind. And it's making me even more positive and more functional and even better. Okay. So like I said, YouTube has got a ton of them, right? And you can have different meditations for different things. Like there was a while there where I felt like I was floating through the world and I didn't know where I stood and I needed to plant my feet and I didn't know how to do it. And then I found this meditation about grounding yourself, you know, and it really helped me because I was kind of flying around going, what do I do now? Where am I supposed to be? You know? And sometimes a lot of us have situations like that in our lives where we're not sure of where we're supposed to be at the time or what we should be working on or where we belong, right? So medication can be a really great part of that if you allow it to be. There's also something called a Muse headband, and it's spelled M-U-S-E, okay? They're about $200, so they're not cheap. They do go on sale though, so if you Google them, you'll probably find a price somewhere between $150, $200. And it's a band that goes around your head and sits behind your ears, and it actually feels your brain waves, okay? And then there's an app you use on your phone that connected to the headband. You put in headphones while you have the band on, and as you're meditating, the sound inside of coming through your ears from the band is telling you if you're really stressed out and you've got a really lot of activity or if you're calming and slowing down. It's a really, really cool piece of technology and a very fun tool to use. So if you don't have one, get one. If you can't afford one right now, then you can certainly use all the ones that are on YouTube, because like I said, there are a ton of it. So another side of meditation is sitting in stillness. So what that is you would, sit on the floor, cross-legged, close your eyes, put your hands on your on your knees, palms facing up, okay? And just close your eyes and sit there just for 10 minutes, okay? And at first, you're gonna have a million thoughts running through your head, all right? And that's okay, okay? But as you do this on a daily basis, slowly, your mind is gonna go slower, and it's gonna be less cluttered and less thoughts running through it. And you're going to actually be able to just sit there in stillness, sit there in silence. Okay. So that's another great tip that you can use for meditation. This is a big one. Reading. Read. You have to read. Okay. Leaders are readers. You must be reading every day, at least 10 to 30 minutes. Okay. And that's on the low side of this. If you can do an hour or two a day, then do it. But you need to be doing it every day. Okay, so if it's 10 pages, if it's 10 minutes, if it's half an hour, whatever, you need to be reading, all right? I actually, as a matter of fact, you know what, for all of you who are here, go into the chat right now and tell us what you're reading. If you're reading anything right now, tell us what you're reading, okay? I might not be able to see it because I'm in my full screen here, but Tammy could probably help me out with that. But just put in the groups or put in the chat there what you're reading right now, or what book has been a game changer for you that you've already read. Okay. So, and it's interesting because I made a post about this a couple of days ago on Facebook, and I asked people what was the most influential book you've ever read. And there was a laundry list of different books, like the Bible, the Magic, Power of Intention, tons of different things for you to read. So what I recommend when it comes to reading is if there's something you're not good at or something you don't know, go pick up a book on it and read it and learn it, okay? If you're looking for personal development stuff, go pick up books like that. If you're looking for books on sales, read those kinds of books. Every book out there has a purpose, but you do need to be reading every day. You got to make sure that's part of your daily routine, okay? And
I'm going to
the
read
great thing,
up, Ange. Sorry for interrupting. I'll read
no
some of the
problem.
books the team is reading here.
Okay.
And I also wanted to touch a little bit, guys, on the power of reading. Some people in the beginning, when somebody advised me a few years ago, actually several years ago, to start reading books, I actually thought it was kind of silly. I'm like, it's something I just never made time for. After I realized that when it came to surface for me that I didn't really have strong connections in my friendships. I'd never had most of my life any strong connections in a romantic relationship. I had a lack of communication and compassion with my family. I struggled with how I communicated with my employees, with my peers. I had poor communication skills in how I handled things with people I worked with in business. So I started to bring to surface the areas where I struggled the most. And I realized if I stayed on that path of struggle, I would continue to remain on that path, because we all know if things need to change, we have to change, and it all starts internally. When I first started to dive into books, I realized that my story can easily change just like a book. Just like we read a book, we may not like it, or a chapter we're not happy with, we can easily close that chapter and put that book back on the shelf. So if there's a chapter in our life we're not proud of, we're not happy with, we're disappointed of, we can forgive ourselves, show up with gratitude, close that chapter, and then move forward, right? So books has really helped me develop that inner core strength that allowed me to grow, that allowed me to communicate better in my relationships with my friends, with my family, with my romantic partners, with my staff, my coworkers, my peers, my business partners. I had to work on myself on the inside. I couldn't show up to my life and expect everyone else around me to change. That's impossible. If you walked out of your house and you said, if all my neighbors changed their damn attitude, I'd have a better day. If all these other drivers just drove better, I'd be happier on the road. Right? If everyone's attitude changed in the grocery store, I'd have a better shopping experience. It all starts with us. We are a magnetic, energetic force. And the proof of that is if you're in a group with several people and everyone is having a pretty good time, and you have one person walk in the room with a piss poor attitude, do you not feel that energy? Even if you don't see the person, you feel the vibration of that negative, crappy energy that walks in the room. That's because we are energetic, magnetic, vibrating forces, right? And the opposite applies. If everybody's just kind of feeling blah, and you have someone coming in a room with a positive vibration, with a sense of gratitude, somebody whose energy is high vibing, all of a sudden it changes the entire vibration and energy of a room. So we are so powerful, we don't even realize it. I found my power by reading books and working on myself. So some of the books that the folks have written here, Ange, are, well, I'm not surprised that Justin's reading something with Neville Goddard.
Me neither.
So he's reading Imagination. Carmen's reading Robin Sharma. He's amazing, by the way. Mike, The Noticer. Danielle, Whatever Rises Love That by Matt Kahn. Fish, oh, that's cool. Fish, I gotta read up on that one on Amazon. And then Caro starting the magic today because she just got her order from Amazon. That book absolutely changed my life. There was two books that totally changed my life. The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. I always suggest get the audio version if you can. It's a whole different experience when you're listening to Don Miguel narrating and speaking of the Four Agreements and the magic. Those were the two books that made a huge shift for me. Everything else was just bonuses, compounded, right? So yeah, the Four Agreements is totally amazing. I'm gonna read up on fish. I'm gonna let you continue, Ange, and I just wanna again thank everybody who's hopped on today. I really appreciate each and every one of you for showing up and learning something that's gonna bless your life in so many ways. Thanks, Ange.
My pleasure. Yes, and thank you to everybody who's shown up as well. And I'm glad to hear you guys are reading some interesting books. And if you don't know, if you're not sure what to read, then reach out. Reach out to, you know, Tammy or I or any of the other leaders and say, you know, I have a problem with this or I have a problem with that. And maybe we can find a good book for you to start with, you know. Then the thing about books too is that once you have read them and learned new things, you can never go back to being the person who didn't read the book. Okay. So that book has now changed who you are. I was the most negative bitch on the planet about 15 years ago. When I was a correctional officer, I hated everybody. I really did. I did it for 7 years. I was just like, I hate people, you know, women, men, white, black, brown, everything. I was like, I just didn't want to be around people. I just wanted to be alone. I just thought, because all I was seeing was all the negative people on the planet inside the prison, right? So for one reason when I left after 7 years was because I turned into this person I didn't want to be. I didn't want to hate everybody. I didn't want to carry around that baggage of that weight of feeling hate and angry and gross all the time. Like it was just awful, you know? So so what I want to say about reading is once you just do a little reading and you see how much it impacts you, you'll
Either you froze, Ange, or everyone did. Oh. Yeah, you froze, Ange. Okay. Well, not a lot of people are on video, so I couldn't tell if it was just me. She'll probably hop right on. She dawed. It's a new term. It's all good. We'll wait for her to come back on.
Who, me?
Yeah, okay, now you're back on.
You can hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know what happened there.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Internet.
Where did you last hear me talking?
Oh God, it's only been about 60 seconds.
Okay, so what I was saying is when I was a correctional officer, I really hated everybody. I didn't want to be in that space. So once you start reading and working on yourself and working on things you want to learn, this will be a game changer for you too. And this needs to be part of your daily routine as well. This one, audios. So Tammy really loves these. As she just mentioned, reading, like instead of reading the book, the 4 Agreements, the audio of it. Sometimes people are auditory learners, right? So you learn better when you hear it rather than read it. Everybody has a different learning, usually a different learning pattern. So audios, if they say, if you have about a half an hour commute to work, let's say, you know, to work and back, okay, to work and then back home again. If you listen to audios on your commutes, in 1 year, you can get almost 2 years of university training in 1 year of listening to audios on your commute going back and forth to work. Now, to me, that's magnificent, okay? That you could learn so much on your commute to work instead of just listening to the radio and, you know, listening to some dumb songs or listening to some idiot DJ talking about stupid crap. I don't even know. I don't listen to the radio very often because I never know what the DJs are talking about. They're just all over the place. They're ridiculous. So audios can be really important, you know. So there are also, there's a lot of podcasts out there from people that you would recognize, like Robert Kiyosaki and Tony Robbins. So and these podcasts are right at your fingers on your phone, right? So find some podcasts you really like, have a look around, search for things. Audios are really incredible for your day and really incredible for your personal growth and development. And we've got affirmations, okay? These ones are fun ones too. Now, affirmations are basically sentences that you say to yourself to help yourself, okay? So most affirmations are going to start with the words I am, okay? I am powerful. I am magnificent. I am healthy. I am a million things. There's a million things you could add there, okay? I am smart. I am successful. I am creating financial freedom for myself. I am creating my dream life. But you know, they don't necessarily have to start with I am, but for the first beginnings of this, have them write them out starting with I am, and write out about, I'd say 50 at least. Okay. Then you can type them up, put those on your mirror next to the you can poem, and read them every day as well. Okay. There's great things that can happen from affirmations. And there's a story that some of us know. I won't mention the guy's name, but it was a guy that we knew in business. He did very, very well. But when he was younger and he was in a class with his teacher in like grade 3 or 4, I think, he raised his hand to answer a question, but the answer was wrong. And for some reason, the teacher kind of made him sound stupid, kind of thing. And then the whole class laughed at him. So then he never raised his hand again. And he went through the rest of his education into his 20s believing, I'm stupid. Okay. So what he did was he made an affirmation that he said to himself every day. And it was, I am a genius and I apply my wisdom. And he said it to himself over and over and over and over every single day. And it changed him significantly. Now he's a multimillionaire running his own company. But this little experience he had when he was in grade 3 or 4, like wrecked up to his almost into his 20s, wrecked his junior high and high school years, you know? So then he changed it all with one simple affirmation. I am a genius and I apply my wisdom. Again, how powerful they are. Okay. So here we go. This is one, guys, I wouldn't normally tell you not to do something. I wouldn't come right out and say, stop doing that, but I have to tell you to stop doing this. You have to stop watching the news. Okay. For any of you who are news junkies, or who you watch it all the time, or you're checking your phone every day about news, this is really wrecking your mind. I'm going to tell you in a minute what happens when you do this. But you all know basically that a standard newscast, if it's for an hour, you know, you got 59 minutes of bad news from local to maybe country, then worldwide. And then at the very end of the broadcast, there's some cute little video of a cat that went viral that day. Okay. This is all negative crap that you don't need to have in your mind. Okay. You don't have to be inundated with the news to know what's going on in the world. I actually don't know that much about what's going on in the world right now. I know bits and pieces about COVID, but I don't know everything. I don't know really what's going on with the American election right now. Not really. I'm not really worried that I'm not learning about that, you know. And the reason why I don't watch the news is because I have learned that what happens, and this is, and Justin will love this because it's NLP, but what happens is NLP stands for neuro-linguistic programming. Okay. So when you watch a news story, all right. So if let's say there's Justin Trudeau said something today, I don't care what it is. So you see Justin Trudeau made a speech and you're like, okay. And then you go, then Trump made a speech and they're like, oh, now Trump is talking about this too. Right. And then your mind in a 6 degrees of separation way goes, well, Trudeau said this, and then Trump said this. So if somebody does this, and if somebody does that, and then this person does that, and that person does this, then it's going to affect my job. If it affects my job, how am I supposed to pay my mortgage? If I can't pay my mortgage, how am I supposed to feed my kids? And now you have turned it into a worry and a big mess for yourself that never would have happened. 99% of what you see on the news will never, ever affect your daily life. It is crap. It is useless. Absolutely useless. Okay? So please stop watching the news, you know? Or if you, instead of watching a 1 hour telecast or broadcast, maybe watch a half an hour one that's more local to you, gives you a better idea, maybe. But like, you guys, you can't be inundated with this stuff all the time, because all the work you're doing to create a positive mindset, this crap, watching the news relentlessly, is going to take away all the work you're doing. It's going to erase it. So if you see me getting louder and my voice talking faster, it's because I freaking mean it here. I want to say the F word, but I know other people are going to see this, so I said freaking. Okay? I freaking mean it here. This is a crucial one. Please stop watching the news. I beg of you. I beg of you. I'm
Hey,
hearing
folks,
somebody
can you
again.
please mute yourself ASAP?
Right as Bella saw her coming back, right as she came back.
Who's that?
And then she told me whenever I go in the shower and
I
come back
can't
out.
even see who is not muted.
Can you mute everybody, Tammy?
Yeah, one sec.
And then I'll just unmute myself.
She was just
Uh,
curled up with me. Just
You got it, Tammy?
I cannot, everyone is showing to be muted, which
Okay.
doesn't make sense. Hang on. Okay, so you need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I'm back. Is that good?
Yeah, if anyone does it again, I'll just remove them. That's okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Here we go. M number 2 is motivation. This is a cool one. So what is your motivation here? This guy dragging his ass out of work. This guy ready to rock and roll. Okay. Let's be happy and excited. What's motivation? What is your why? This is the motivation. Okay. Now, as you can see, we got a bunch of people on this Zoom right now. I don't know how many, but this is your community, and we can do what we can to motivate you. We can do what we can to help you. But in the end, you're an entrepreneur, and you're going to have to find a way to motivate yourself. Okay. We can't be there for you at every minute and every second. Okay. So what is your why? Why are you doing this? All right. What did you get started for in the first place? Okay. So, you know, if you have a goal that you want to make money, why do you want to make money? What do you want to spend it on? You know, do you want to quit your job? Do you want to go traveling? Do you want to save for your kids? Do you want to help an aging parent? You know, a million things could be inside of your why. You're going to have a why. I'm going to have a why. Tammy will. It's all going to be different because we all have different circumstances in our lives and different things that are important to us and where our values sit. And we will have different reasons that are motivating us, and that's just fine. Okay. So this is one thing that this is a little activity that we try to do, we used to do in our old company, and I find very, very helpful. So if you think about your perfect day, what does your perfect day look like? So when I say use all 5 senses, I mean, you know, can you smell the ocean? Can you see through your eyes and see out your windows? And maybe there's mountains there. Can you touch sand as you walk outside? Can you hear crickets? You know, crickets cricketing, however, whatever the crickets singing, because you're maybe in a rural area, maybe that's where you're comfortable. So just go through all your 5 senses and write it out. Okay, write it out. Just like your gratitude. Like you could say to me, well, Angela, I don't really need to journal my gratitude because I can just sit here and think, I'm grateful for this and I'm grateful for that. But when you write something down, your brain makes it real. It's real for your brain now, rather than you just sitting there thinking about it. So what does your perfect day look like? Use all 5 senses. This will probably take you a week or 2 to even figure out. Okay. And that's okay. But as you think about what you really want your perfect day to look like, who are you waking up beside, if anybody? Where are you in the world? You know, I mean, I can't even think because there's just so many, right? There's so many that I could talk about. So, you know, knowing your why is crucial. If you don't know your why, then what you're doing is never gonna matter. Okay. You need to know why you're doing this. It needs to be very clear to you. Very, very clear to you. Okay. So that's why I say, what motivated you to take the journey in the first place? So why'd you get started? Right? Think about why you got started. Like, some of us always say, oh, it's not about the money. Well, when you first get started, it is about the money. You know, like you want to make money. That's why you're doing this, so that you can change your life. Unfortunately, in this society, we have to buy back our time freedom with money. You know, that's just the way the world works. So what motivated you to take this journey in the first place? Okay. Motivation is it's a short lesson. Because it's very clear. All you need to know is why you're doing it. Be succinct, be clear, use all 5 senses, and you'll be good to go. And the thing too that I want to mention about motivation also is setting goals. Okay. Now we are a very I am a very goal oriented person. I know several other people here are too. But the one thing I want to remind you guys of is successful people think the long game. Okay. They think 1 year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and they have goals for each one of those things. All right. The poor and the more average people think month to month or paycheck to paycheck. And that might be how you're living, because there's a lot of people who do live paycheck to paycheck. That's just the way it is, right? But we've got to, even if you are living paycheck to paycheck or month to month or however you're looking at it, try to then add in a 3-month goal. Maybe you don't have a whole 6 month or 1 year yet, but try to add a 3-month goal and then a 6-month goal. Okay, so just think beyond today. Think beyond the paycheck. Okay. So next M, massive action. Yeah. This one is a fun lesson. Massive action means taking consistent, persistent, daily action. Okay. This is what that means. Consistent, persistent, daily action is taking massive action. Now, as you see, I've got 8 to 10 hours and 1 to 2 hours here. So if you're able to, and you're working on your business 8 to 10 hours a day, friggin' A, go get it. You're awesome. You are taking massive action. You are kicking butt. You are building your business. You are helping a lot of people. You are rocking it. Okay. You're taking massive action. Now, let's say you only have 1 to 2 hours a day to work on your business because you've got a job and maybe children and other responsibilities and other things that you have to be a part of. So maybe you can only spend 1 to 2 hours a day on your business. Okay. But that's still taking massive action as long as you're doing it consistently, persistently, and daily. Okay. Now, I will caution you that, or not caution you, but remind you that somebody who's working on their business 8 to 10 hours a day is going to have more results than somebody working 1 to 2 hours a day. That's just it. Like, we have to work on these businesses. We got to put the time in, right? But don't ever think just because you can't kill it with 8 hours a day, that 1 to 2 hours a day isn't going to be enough. It will be enough. You just have to make it consistent and persistent. Okay. So like another friend of ours says, you can't go to the gym on Sunday for 7 hours to make up for not working out the whole week. Right? If that is the simplest explanation I can give for massive action. It's got to be consistent, persistent, and daily. If you don't have to use 3, then it all falls apart. It's got to be all 3. Okay. Good on that. Good on that. Sweet. Next M, mentorship. This one, don't do it alone, guys. Have a mentor. There's lots of us in here who are mentoring you right now in our community. There's lots of great leadership inside this community, So the thing about mentorship is basically to learn from someone who has done what you want to do. And it's that simple. So if you want to make 6 figures a year, then go be mentored by somebody who makes 6 figures a year. If you want to make 6 figures a month, then go be mentored by someone who makes 6 figures a month. And the thing about mentorship too, guys, is that a true mentor always wants to help somebody else, because they know that if they help somebody get what they want, then they will get what they want in return. That's the way the world works. It's give and receive. That's also part of the law of attraction when it comes to gratitude and all the other stuff. So I have personally yet to have met a mentor who was like, no, I'm never going to teach you. You just go away. I'm keeping this to myself, right? They don't do that. And maybe the mentor might want to charge you a little bit of money for their time in mentorship. Like if you go through programs of Robert Kiyosaki's or Tony Robbins or something, that's kind of like having him mentor you as you go through their programs, So it's very simple. Learn from somebody who has done what you want to do. Okay. Success leaves clues. Now, when I say this, I mean it, because as you see successful people leveling up, reach out to them and go, hey, you're doing really awesome. Can I ask what you're doing? Like, how do you spend your time? Tammy was just mentioning about at the beginning that I sent out over 3,000 voice clips, and And I've had a lot of people reach out to me to help them for that. And I'm like, well, this is what I'm doing. Here's a copy of my voice clip. And if you make your own, send it back to me and I'll give you my opinion on it. And maybe I can help you with it. I'm not doing that for money. I'm doing that for free because I want to help other people. That's one of my motivations for doing this. You know, like they don't have to be on my team. They don't have to be anything. I'm willing to help. That's just me, you know? And again, there's a lot of people that are out there that want to help. Now, I say that don't settle, find someone who aligns with your values. And I say that because I have in the past had mentors who I thought were aligned with my values, and it turned out they really weren't. And they were basically just looking for money from me, you know? So I would pay a lot of money to be mentored, and then they would screw off with all my money, and I never learned a damn thing, right? So really, you know, really vet your mentors, have a look at what other people say about them. Most mentors, if they're worth their salt, they've got testimonials somewhere for you to, you know, pay attention to, for you to learn what they do. So, and the other thing I'm putting here is when I say you are worth it, you are worth it. This is an investment into yourself. And investing in yourself is the best investment you will ever make. Okay. I've spent thousands, tens of thousands of dollars going to events, going to personal development events, learning new things all the time. Like in 2018, I was in Las Vegas 5 times for different events, just in that 1 year, you know? So, or 2017. Anyway, you are worth it to do this. You are worth it to find a mentor. You are worth it to not settle for a mentor who doesn't really align with your values. So just remember, if you have to pay for some mentorship, that's okay. For most people, number one, if you don't know this about your business yet, it's probably a write-off, because any kind of event is a write-off. And number two is you'll be able to really find out which mentor really aligns with you, and then invest in yourself. Okay. So please know that you are worth it. This is one thing, this is actually an affirmation that I've had of mine for years, because in my younger years and through my teens and early 20s and stuff, I would always let myself lose so somebody else could win. You know, I would always put myself on the back burner so I could help somebody else win. And then I went to an incredible event and learned that there is a win-win solution to everything. You just have to find it. And it impacted me so much that I got win-win tattooed on my wrist, so that every single time I am in a situation that needs a solution or a problem, I don't have to lose so you can win, and you don't have to lose so I can win. So one of my affirmations was, I am worth it. I am worthy, because I didn't feel worthy of what I wanted, which is why I let everybody else win and not me. Okay. There's a big lesson for me. You don't want to do that. Okay. Here we go. Next one, momentum. Momentum. Now, this is where everything is clicking. Okay. So you're sending out your voice clips. You got people responding to you. You're doing the ATM method, whatever. Okay. So you have now created some momentum in your business. All right. Things are clicking. Keep moving forward. Don't slow down. Stay focused on your goal. Like I said, now you've created momentum. The only thing that's going to stop the momentum, okay, is if you stop. This is not the time to slow down. This is the time to double down. Okay. Momentum only stops if you stop. So if you think, oh, everything's clicking, everything's working, I can back off now. No, you can't. Okay. Because as you see with this guy with the snowball, he got it up the hill, but now it's going down the hill because he let it go. Now it's going down. Okay. Instead of keep pushing it up the hill. Right. It's easier to, once the momentum is created, it's easier to keep it going than it is to create momentum again. Okay. It is a lot harder to get things started from scratch than it is to keep hustling from where you are going already. Okay. So remember that about momentum. This is not the time to slow down. This is the time to double down and hustle. Okay. Last one, magnetize. So now you have got your mindset in order. You know your motivation. You're taking massive action. You got great mentorship and you're in momentum. Now, you will just, the law of attraction will now magnetize you to everything you want in your life. Okay? It will magnetize you. It'll bring you your wealth, your health, your family, your relationships. It will magnetize everything and anything from the universe that you want. Okay? Because now you got yourself into a magnetized situation. You got the right mindset. You motivated. You got your massive action going on. Everything is clicking now. Okay? Don't you want to magnetize everything to you? Don't you want to have everything coming to you instead of constantly searching for it and constantly fighting for it? Let it come to you now. You've done the hard work. Okay? You've done the hard work. Let the universe bring it to you now. Okay? That's all you got to do. So that's it. Let's get it done. Now, one thing before I finish, I want to tell you, people always ask me this question: are the M's in order? Yes, they are. Because if you don't have mindset, I don't care how much motivation you have. It won't get done. Okay? If you don't have anything motivating you, you won't take any massive action. If you're not taking any massive action, you're not going to see any results. Okay? So are these M's in order? They certainly are. Okay? So that is the 6 M's of success.
I love
I
it.
really hope you enjoyed it.
Can you go back to your first page, Ange?
Sure.
Where you're showing, sorry, well, I guess, I don't know if it's your first page.
That one?
Yes, that one.
Okay.
Perfect. So yes, this is the order in which you want to absolutely focus on.
Write these down. And I really hope, I told you all to bring pads of paper and a pen. I really hope you did.
Yeah. So mindset, motivation, massive action, mentorship, momentum, and magnetize. Freaking love
That's right.
that. Because we are absolute magnets. I absolutely love that. Awesome. Well, we could take the screen share off now.
Okay.
We'll wrap things up.
Sure thing.
I'm excited. I'm just going to change my view here. How does everyone feel about this? First and foremost, I mean, awesome. Angela, you are a kick-ass boss, just like I expected. I am so glad I pulled you out of the closet and brought you here, because
You did.
it has been a long time coming for you to bring this back to life. I swear to God. I am
Yes.
so grateful for you. If anybody, I'm now going to allow anyone to unmute themselves, but if anyone has a question or a comment, please unmute yourself and share. Would love to hear what you think, what you thought about today's training. Awesome stuff. I love the comments. Yes, some people need.
Oh, I got to look at the comments.
Ken, you want
Awesome
to share?
stuff, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Ken.
Thanks, Ken.
Would love to hear your feedback, everyone. Do you feel this is something you needed and something you'd love to share with your team? Awesome. I'm guessing some people are at work and they can't kind of speak out loud, so that's okay.
Mhm.
Kamala writes, thanks very much for this. Yes, would love to share. Absolutely.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Hi,
Awesome.
Janelle.
I just want to quickly say thank you, Angela, for all the amazing points. I'm so glad I took notes, because I'm excited to implement a lot of them. So thank you so much for taking the time, especially when you have a headache. So thank you
My
so much.
pleasure. I love to teach these, and you're very welcome, sweetie. It's my pleasure.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you enjoyed it.
Oh, I was hooked on, and I'm so glad you finished, because I got something at like 10:30 and I didn't want to miss it. So
Oh, it's
thank-
11:11 right now.
Yep.
I just looked. It's 11:11 right now.
11.
Look at us go.
I love it.
Awesome. Thanks again, Angela.
You're welcome, sweetie.
Yeah,
I don't know what's
too hard.
about it's 111.
Oh,
Fair enough.
It's 1:11 where you are, Carl?
no, here it's 7-Eleven,
Oh,
like at night.
That's okay.
Yeah. No, but I wanted to thank you as well. I think I needed that very much. Especially, you know, the order of all, we probably most of us have heard most of it before, but then implementing is a different story.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was just the kick in the behind I needed. And I love it. So I'm really appreciating it, both of you.
You're very
Thank you.
welcome. I'm glad I gave you the kick in the butt you need, because sometimes we need that, right? Like even I do, even
Yes.
Tammy does. We all need to, you know,
Yeah,
have
and
that.
a lot of times I feel a little, like by myself and all that. So I'm really grateful that I could kind of be part of it. So I
We are grateful to have you, sweetie.
thank you.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. Liz had a question. Oh, I think this was just for me. Okay, yeah, the tracking sheet is gonna get shared to the groups today, just so you all know. So Friday, I'm gonna do training on the tracking sheet. I might even just do, instead of doing that Friday, if I have time today, I should have time tonight. I'll do a recording of how I use the tracking sheet in case somebody misses the Friday night mastermind or so forth, just to make it easier. I'll see if I can just make like a 2-3 minute video on that as well. Thank you so much. I've been asked that a lot. Does anyone else have a comment or a question? More than happy to help while you guys are here today.
Mm-hmm.
And I always like helping live because it's
Mm-hmm.
in real time, so it's more fun.
So Liz said, amazing training, not knowing I have been working on all the M's. This
Mhm.
training has brought it all together for me. So grateful. See, and this is what I mean. This is why I want this training, because it does bring it all together for you.
Yes.
You know, in one short hour, a little over an hour, you know, I mean, and for half of that, I talked about mindset, if you recall,
Yeah.
right? Then I went through 5 other M's kind of quickly, because that one is crucial from the beginning. So I'm grateful that you said that, Liz, because that was my goal. That's my goal with this training, is to keep it all summed up, one nice tight little package that people can write notes on and then go implement in their lives and business. So thank you so much for that beautiful comment, Liz. I appreciate it. Donna, my biggest issue is script for voice messaging. Message me, Donna, on Facebook, and I'll give you a hand on that.
Yeah, we also have it compiled. We have about several voice clips from several of our members inside of my group. And I'm gonna pick Mike's brain here. Mike, is it possible for us to download those voice clips and kind of just save it in one spot? Whether it's in the Facebook group, like the training Facebook group, that we can have a file that shows, you know, because everyone speaks differently, right? We have different personalities and how we communicate. I'm not sure if there's a way we can download those voice clips and put them in one spot so we can share them in the training group. So I want to make sure everyone has access to it, not just those who are inside of our mastermind.
Are these, because I missed that Mason was talking to me, they're messenger voice clips?
Yeah, you know, the voice clips that we're sending out in Messenger. I mean, otherwise we can ask the team that are doing it now to record it using a different format for the purpose of kind of cataloging it for training. What's your ideas on that?
Well, it can be done, but it's not an easy task. You sort of, you have to look for a specific file while you're listening to it in the browser. So it's something I can do, but it's not going to be something that's going to be easy to explain.
Would it be easier to use a voice recording app on our phone, cap it to 60 seconds, and then send you the file?
Something like that could work too. I mean, it's just a matter of getting the recording that you want to have, and then having a place where you want to put it. So
yeah, I think a great place would be to put it in the Crypto Earners Facebook training, because we do talk about in there the ATM method and sending messages. So I think it'd be a great idea if we had it all in one space. That way, when you guys are also using it and then training your team, you can say, hey guys, there's actually several voice note examples inside of the Facebook group. So we're gonna look at compiling something like that for you folks inside of the Facebook group, so it's easier to access. And then some of you can message Angela privately. If you're not friends with her on Facebook, keep in mind it'll end up in filtered messages. So add her as a friend so she can see it. I really love that. And you know, the voice notes are so personal. I can honestly say so many people in our community have received responses back from leads. Whether they're interested or not, it's always been positive. People are so grateful to hear a voice message. It feels personal.
I get that comment all the time, Tammy.
Exactly.
I get that all a lot. They're like, oh my God, I'm so grateful that you took the time to message me personally, you know? And the guys, the voice clip I have is generic. It just says, hey there, not the person like, hey, Tammy. It doesn't say that. It just says, hey there, right? And over the last 6 weeks, as my results have changed, so have my voice clips, right? I started off with the basic script that is in the ATM method. And I actually also, Tammy, I had another girl from another group private message me that she needed the script. And I know I printed it off, but I can't remember what link that was from, if it was the ATM method or the other link. But I think some people are not getting that link, or they're not seeing it in the Telegram chat. Either way, I don't know.
Which link is that, hon?
Well, I printed off the script, right? And I think it was from the link of the ATM method. You know, when Corey puts that message in every day that says, if you want to be successful, do this and this.
Yeah.
I printed off those documents. So in one of those documents is the initial script I used, right?
Yeah,
then as I had some results, I would say, oh, now I'm at this so-and-so, you know what I mean? And then this is my 4th new voice clip now. So as you evolve, so will your voice clips. But the one thing I would recommend, the most of people who have sent me them, and I've had quite a few people send me them since they know I'm kind of killing it with these things, is to sound excited. Most of the people that I've heard don't sound excited.
Yeah.
They're like, hi there, I hope you're having a good day. Well, I just wanted to tell you, no, right? Like when you're excited about something, you speed up the way you talk a lot faster, and you can hear it in your voice that you're excited, right? So that's my number one thing I would tell you guys is make sure you sound excited on that voice clip, because
let me just say this. For those of you who sit here and say, I'm really nervous about sending voice message and so forth, I'm going to ask you, if someone paid you $100,000 to share your enthusiasm about this opportunity, would you change the tonality of your voice? Would you practice that 60-second voice clip? Do you know how many people are actually achieving $100,000 in a very short period of time here inside of the entire Corsage community, not just our little group or our community? There is such an immense amount of people succeeding big here. And these people aren't the ones sitting and complaining what I can't do, what I don't know, where I suck at. Find out where you suck and get good at it. A great mentor said that to me. I laughed my ass off the first time, but I'll tell you, it's true. Look at where you suck. Where are you not comfortable? What are you not good at that you beat yourself up for? That is the thing to work on. That's it. When someone asks me, Tammy, what can I work on? What do you suck at? Oh, geez, I suck at lots of things. Let's get a list. First 3 things you suck at in business. Those are the 3 things you now have to master. There's no magic pill. There's no secret sauce. I could tell you all day long what I do to succeed. Angela can tell you all day long what she does. Doesn't matter what we do. At the end of the day, all that matters is what you do with the information you have, with the training that you have access to, right? I actually have one of Angela's voice clips. I know she has a few. I'm going to play it right now, okay?
Hi there. I hope you're having a fantastic, awesome day. I just wanted to reach out to you because I am working in something brand new right now. I am so stupid excited about it. I finally got into the crypto space, and I am just absolutely loving it. This has got to be one of the best thing I've seen in my entire 8 years of success online. And we are earning really high commissions, no product pushing, no monthly requirements, monthly fees, none of that crap that we don't like. I am really, really excited. So for example, I had a team member who came in and made $400 in her first 2 days. I have made $2,700 in 9 days, and my mentor has made $200,000 in 13 weeks. So this is truly, truly epic. So if you want to learn more about what we're doing, then get back to me. If not, no worries. You know, we're still friends, not a big deal. Just message me back either way so I know where you're at. So I love and appreciate you, and talk to you soon. Ciao for now.
See how simple that was? That was 58 seconds. I'm gonna play Sandra's.
Hey, I am
Be right back,
so
Tammy.
excited. I have to tell you what I got myself into. I'm not sure if you've seen my posts, but I got into the crypto space. We earn high commissions. There's no product pushing. There's no monthly requirements. It is the most exciting thing I have ever been involved with. One of my business partners made $300 in his first week without enrolling anyone. Another business partner, she made $8,000 in her first 3 weeks. And one of my mentors just crushed 200K in her first 13 weeks. And I'm following suit with this team. Low startup cost, start where you can. I'm only sharing because with this COVID thing, I want to help as many people as I can. Would you be interested in learning about what we're doing? If not, no worries. No hype, no BS, no pressure. Either way, get back to me as soon as possible so I know where you're at. Have a great day.
How simple is that? And you know what? How I've trained our team is don't just share the
Finally.
You're welcome. Don't
What
just
was
share
that?
big wins, right? Like you don't have to talk about the huge wins. When you share something as simple as my friend who just started made $300 in her first week. That's huge. That's a win. That is a win. Okay. I don't know who was speaking, but go ahead.
Well, Caro asked, where do you store your generic voice clip? And so, Caro, I say it into my own messenger, like my own personal messenger, and then I forward it from there to everybody.
Mhm.
So that's where I keep it, is just right when I make the message in my Facebook Messenger app, then it stays there and I forward it out as I go through my friends list. So, and I'm going straight, I have 4,300 friends on Facebook. I've sent out a little over 3,000 voice clips. I will not stop until I've sent out 4,300. And then after that, there's a whole list of 3,800 people who follow me, who are not necessarily friends of mine on Facebook, but they follow me because of my past successes. So then I will start on that list, you know? So it couldn't be easier, you know? Like I can bang out 200 voice clips in like an hour, you know? And earlier I saw somebody saying, how do you send that out that many? Does Facebook block you? And at first, my first day, I sent out 600 of them. And Facebook did say, okay, you're in Facebook jail. They sent me the little warning that I was going to be in Facebook jail for 24 hours, but it actually never happened. Facebook still allowed me to send messages. So I'm not saying send out 600 right away because you could get flagged. But if you did a couple hundred a day like I do, I don't think you'd see too many problems.
I did try the voice. I did forward voice messages, but after 10 or so, Facebook said, I have to wait, it's too many.
Well, you know, Facebook, Caro can be very finicky. We call it the crazy ex-girlfriend or crazy ex-boyfriend, where they let you do a whole bunch of things and then they say, oh, no, we're taking that back. You know, it's just Facebook's own demon. You know what I mean? Like there's not much we can do with that. So whatever Facebook's limit is for you, then hopefully you can do that many, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And everyone's account is different. I mean, Ange just got luck of the draw. Even though Facebook's told her she's been in jail, she still works from jail apparently. So.
Yeah. Well, it was just once and it was supposed to last 24 hours and it just never did, right? Like the warning was there, but then the warning went away, right? And so I guess I was just lucky.
You know, for a new person, I would say, 50 every other day to start, just to, protect yourself from getting put in jail. That's reasonable. I mean, when you think about it, that's about 200 a week. 200 a week is better than nothing.
Absolutely.
Right? And, as I did follow-ups, when we were doing follow-ups with our group, so many of them would come back and share screenshots of the responses they got from people. Sometimes a person would respond back via voice note and would say, hey, Tammy, I absolutely love the fact that you sent me a personal message. Nowadays, I get so many links that are just, I swear they're copy pasted, right? It feels so good to have a personal message. How are you doing? Right now I'm working on my other business. I'm really happy for you, but I'm so glad that we got in touch. Your relationship with people is the most important thing, because even though someone may not be joining you today, they will continue to follow you because of your integrity as an entrepreneur and as a person. And when they reach a point where there's a lot of pain points happening in their life or their business, and they now see, oh my gosh, Tammy's been doing this consistently for weeks. Wow, it's her 3rd month and holy crap, she made 50K, right? Geez, she's still at this and I'm still struggling at my thing. And because you had a conversation of strong rapport, you spoke with integrity, you didn't try to convince her to leave her company and join yours. Like, that's not cool, right? When you show up with that level of integrity, people will eventually come to you and say, you know what, that's the kind of person I want to work with. You know, always ask yourself, would I hire me? Would I work with me? Would I mentor me? And if the answer is no, you need to change things from the neck up, right? You need to ask yourself, where's my mindset? If it's of greed, you'll always lose. If it's of gratitude, you'll always win. And the right people will always vibrate and come your way, right?
Absolutely. Who's this now with the green phone?
I don't know. I hear someone breathing.
I did too.
Okay. I'm going to end off today's training. I'm actually going to shut the